Welcome to week 4 of session 4. We are going to be working all 5 days this week on our projects. Game design will do MVP on Monday. Everybody else is going to just be working through production process each day of the week. Take a look at your checklist and your team folders. Make sure you're setting goals each day. Also, make sure you're maintaining your weekly journal. So let's take a look. In here, you can see these are people that completed their journal stuff last week in first period. So the idea is some people did not finish it. So either they're absent or something. So check the half sheet that you scored and then I wrote notes on. I have that. If you did not get full credit or you're absent or something, please ask back for that. Ask me to hand it back to you. You can then make corrections and so on and hand it back to me. If you were absent, or if you didn't finish the reflection, I'm fine. If you can take one day to modify that and hand it back to me, but I'll just do that for Monday or Tuesday and that's it. Okay. All right. This week, I want you to set your goal right away on Monday and you're going to self-assess that. And when you look at the document, I turn this gray because I want you to just score this. This is your goal. Okay. If it's not on time, you're not going to really get credit for it. This is a time-dependent thing with your weekly journal. So really you can't make it up. It needs to be done each day of the week and due by Friday, but especially the goal. The goal is due. If it's not done on Monday, you get a 0 and you can't make it up. Okay, just so you know. So complete on Monday. I made this gray. I also rewrote a bunch of these sections to try to make sure you understand that you need to declare best practices every day. Okay, this is stuff I've been saying. And so I put things in here. Here, let's make this, there we go. No problems, no evidence. Now, when we talk about problems, you need to be writing about problems that you have for the week and so on. We'll take a look at that. Also, I broke this down into 5 sections, not 4, and it's now out of 20 points. Why? Because the end of week reflection and evidence is different than daily best practices, and making sure that it looks professional and it's complete. I wanted to separate things out a little bit because best practices is a daily thing that you do. That's part of your daily reflection. If you don't have best practices, you're not going to get more than a 1. Okay. Just so you know that. It's really important. You got to state the best practice and then how you did that. End of the week, you need to be doing reflections, and there's something new. I need you to have evidence. If you want to score higher up here on 3 or 4, you need to have evidence. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at the blog post. The directions at the top are pretty much the same. And I did add some more detail in here to make sure it's clear on what you're doing. Specify best practices you demonstrated each day. I put that in there to make sure it's clear. So we're on week 4 of session 4. Make sure your goal is measurable. That means 5 things or whatever, something that's tangibly measurable that is specific and realistic for you to do. And that could be film the first minute of the film. That could mean you have 5 graphics built for the game. Something like that, very specific. Then this is the same. When you come down here, I added in the days just to make it look better. And then down here, I broke these out a little bit so you could see them a little clearer. So did you achieve your goal? Please state that you did or how, or you did not and why. And I also want you to talk about issues or problems that you had every week because you do have them, but I want that in here. Okay. This helps tell your story. If you're not solving any problems, you're really not doing anything in class and you're just kind of skating through, and that's a problem. And you and I will talk about that. Okay. That stuff's the same. This is new. Evidence of weekly goal. This can be a sound file, a screenshot, a picture of something, a video clip, but this is evidence that you achieved your weekly goal. I've raised the stakes. Why? A few students did this. They put evidence of their weekly goal in their blog post last week, and it was really impressive. It was absolutely clear that they did their thing. I didn't ask for that, but they put it there, and I'm like, holy cow, that is so much more powerful than just writing some words. Now, the words are important because we don't know what the media file means, but with the words and the media file, it's going to be even more powerful that you did stuff. Now, the average week is 5 hours of class time. All I'm asking you to do is maintain your daily journal and then have evidence at the end of the week. This is not a big ask. This should be something very easy to do, minutes each day. And at the end of the week, maybe 10 minutes total of writing your reflection, what you're most proud of, all the stuff. Okay. So again, I'm trying to take the Leducian BS, the busy stuff, out of the way and give you maximum time to work in production. What you need for me is evidence. What are you actually doing with your time? And that's part of the write-up. That's part of this whole process, but also I need something tangible that you actually produce stuff. Again, read the document here. It should make sense. All right. That's it. Have a good one.